on the game. You know?
Tell
So
me that
the way it
403.
works is that we go down person to person, and each person will recommend what traits they think one of the other. So let's say we'll start with Eric, per se,
Great.
right? So we'll go down to every other person. So Chuck and Sanj, and we'll say, what traits do you think Eric's character should lose that they didn't really exhibit in the game? And what ones should they gain? So in
Right.
play, you can say, wow, this character really acted like this trait, and I'm giving them this trait. And then if you and Sanj agree upon it, they get that trait.
Yeah, I think
Got it.
like you can also like you look at your beliefs and you look at your instincts and wherever you spend fate, right? If you had a belief and you were spending a lot of you have those little check marks on the side, you can also look at that and say, wow, he's really like spending a lot of like the character is spending a lot of time on those beliefs or instincts or and earning Artha for it, and you can increase a character trait to a call on or a die trait.
Okay. Well, should we start with Nico then?
Yeah.
We could do
Solving
that.
problems.
Yeah.
I can't get into the foundry. It's giving me a 403 forbidden.
Oh, okay. Your
It's an old
IP
link.
has changed. So let me
Oh,
know
okay, yeah. Yep, I'm not at my
let me know what your new IP is. And
Well,
we'll figure this out. So go to whatismyip.com.
oh. What is my IQ.com?
Yeah, we need your global one, so not your internal one.
Okay, what is my IP? So we got my public IP v4.
Mhm.
Okay. 76.38.248.145.
Hang on, let me put that in the chat. So it's 26 dot what?
76.
Or maybe just paste it into the Zoom chat.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to
Little-
get it because it involves
there's a
me
little
having to
paste link in the
reboot
chat.
the server.
Sure, sorry about that. Okay,
No,
let's see.
no worries.
Where's the chat? Very thrilling for the viewers at home here.
You're also
Chat.
going to know some important information about your Airbnb IP address. You're not at home today?
Now I'm at my gal's house. My new
Oh, nice.
gal. Yeah,
Congrats. That's exciting.
thanks. Okay, here we go. Yeah, she's a therapist, so she's got sessions right now, so it's convenient for me to do this at the same
great.
time.
nice. Because I was like, she is very nice lady letting you play D&D while she's sleeping in bed, and you take your new girlfriend.
She'd
She
be
would
down
have
with
had
that.
objections if it had been D&D, but for Burning Wheel, she made a
Yeah.
That's right.
She
She
knows about
knows,
the wheel.
understands. She understands how important it is.
I
Eric
can't
showed her
find
the
that
video.
part where in this Foundry thing. Oh, I think if you click the belief, you can see where your Artha has been spent. Yeah, that's cool.
But we've only been playing in
No, but I wrote it in
this.
I
Oh,
ported
you read
it
it
over.
in. Oh, see, you're smart. I didn't do that, and I'm gonna have to look at both systems at once.
Oh, check it
Right.
out.
Yeah, hey, look at this. We both got them on.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice. Look at that. You fucking clones. Good job. I've never gone to those PAX East or PAX West. You keep going, Chuck. They must be great.
Yeah, I'm running games at PAX East in next weekend.
What are you playing?
So I'm giving people a choice between Blades in the Dark and a module that I've made, for Dungeon Crawl Classics that tries to make it a little bit more story gamey. So
Cool.
we'll see.
Cool.
Is that
I'll
going to go
sign up for
well? I
that
do not
next
know.
time if I ever go to one of those.
Yeah,
That's actually where Chuck and I met.
yeah, yeah. Eric designed the T-shirt for that we're both wearing, and used to.
All right, the server is about to go down.
Okay.
What
Should
does
we
that mean?
close the window and
We're getting,
got it? I see this message. I have lost connection to the server.
yeah, me too.
Hey,
Give it
Chuck,
about 2 minutes. Takes about 2 minutes for it to come back.
I picked up.
But we can start. Can we start playing? I can see my character.
Oh, let me give Chuck some props first.
Well, we could do the trait vote. You just gotta, I guess, record it. And the hard
Yeah.
thing about the trait vote is knowing the traits in the burning wheel, which I'm definitely not an expert at.
Well, we can create call on traits for any skill. We just have to say, we just give it a name and say it's a call
Yeah.
on for blah 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 skill.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a couple for you guys.
Oh,
Hold
wow.
on. You know what? I cannot. I wrote them down on my phone, but my phone's in the other room. Hi guys. Do you see my phone anywhere?
Wow, I think it's up already. Just let me log in.
I had it.
And let me get it to Lankhmar. All right, it's up again. It's so fast now.
Great. I'll restart the page. Here we go. Looks like it's running. Great.
Cool.
Okay.
Eric.
They did
All
such
right.
a good job on this software, man. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's
All right,
amazing.
so we're looking at Nico. We're gonna start with her current traits. So character traits Acer's likeness, which is how much she looks like the first the legendary first of her people. Callous, Skulking, and Tail. So the tail has not come up a whole lot, and the Acer's likeness haven't come up a whole lot because you've been disguising yourself a lot.
And how we have rat people, they're much less like rodent and just more like humans with very ratty kind of features.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
That's also a feature of our world. So, did you want to keep the tail?
I mean, I think right now it's just is it just a character? I think it's just a character trait right now, right?
It's just a character trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something you can use.
I can
to
imagine
get
it helps me
yourself
for
in trouble
balance.
to get Artha. Do you
Right.
plan on using it a lot more?
I think maybe so because as careful as I am, I'm getting a little bit more bold. So there might come a time when I'm not thinking about it, and it might, become visible or noticeable
sure.
or something. So
That's
Well,
great.
yeah, I'd love to see you play those up a little bit. That'd be great.
Yeah.
What about Callous? I feel like you have not been particularly callous.
no, not really.
This is not a criticism. I'm just sort of trying to
Oh, no, yeah.
think about like what I kind of like. I like that you've been a boon companion to us and concerned about the world.
What do you think, Sanj?
Yeah, Callus. I mean, it's a great trait, and if you want to keep it on there and get to that, but you were actually much more kind to Alcarina,
Yeah.
like a Callus adventurer would not even had a belief towards Alcarina because she's practically useless, right? So I don't imagine yourself, you just didn't seem very callous at all.
I was, if anything, I was just more like straight to the point on things. Callous
Yeah,
is
like I
more like cold and like just uncaring. But I think it's probably pretty clear that I do care about stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind
Or
of
care about
almost
people.
wanted to give you a trait
Yeah,
like
let's remove
a
it
character
then.
trait
Sounds
kind of
like
like
Well, one thing that I've been sort of kind of working against is the cowardly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I haven't been, I'm sneaky, but I haven't been shying away from challenges, and I've often like kind of like run headlong into things.
Can you open up the
yeah.
cowardly again so we can see the description?
Oh, you can see me.
what's
You
the
can see me doing
opposite
it.
of that? Maybe
Yeah.
you guys should give him a risk taker. If is there kind of a risk taker die trait?
Well, there's something similar. It's called Glory Hound. And it's it gives you a fourth option when you fail your steel test. Charge!
Courage. Yeah.
It's such a wonderful paladin knight trait, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so but I don't picture you like that at all.
No. No, I don't
I
think you're quite
picture
there yet. Yeah.
No,
But I
no.
think that's good. I think you haven't been terribly callous. You also haven't been terribly cowardly. So I think you're right that that's another one that probably should be voted off.
yeah.
I was thinking we could in adding one, I think a character trait like cunning might be good, except I'm not sure whether it's easy to use that against yourself. And that's the whole point of character traits, is using them against yourself. Maybe calculating. Calculating is like cunning, and because you were calculating the way that you dealt with our was Ocarina was our putative leader. You were trying to figure out, is she someone I can use as a
Right. Yeah.
look to as a leader or
I
not?
figured out I figured out what kind of situations she needed to be in. She needed to be
Right.
tested in, and I kind of like let
Right.
things happen a certain way.
So I think
I did
calculating is nice, but I don't know whether it would be a character trait or
Where
even a
is that?
call-on trait.
Where's calculating?
actually
I'm
wrote, no,
just
it's
making
not
up
there.
words. It's
Oh.
just an adjective that's in my head. We don't need to, again, we don't need to use the book. We can just
Oh, right.
create them.
We can just make them. Yeah.
I wrote in my notes, in fact, cautious. Like
Fascist?
yeah, for Nico.
What was the word that you said, Sanj?
Cautious.
Oh, cautious.
Cautious.
I thought you said fascist.
So it kind of like it takes cowardly and it you know,
Gives it a more positive spin.
yeah, it tones it down a little bit, right? Like
But it still
it-
allows you to use it against yourself. So that may be a good character trait,
let's see
cautious.
your instincts though. Do you have an instinct that kind of feels cautious? Like, because sometimes you say, "Oh, this guy played this instinct so much, always stick my nose where it doesn't belong." So that is directly opposed. Like that's the opposite of cowardly. You
Yeah,
know,
I agree.
like you're literally you're stealing things out of your bolt. Like, oh,
That's
there
right.
should be
Yeah.
something about being a kleptomaniac or like
That's
Sticky
a thought.
fingers.
Sticky fingers. I think that's really nice. That's a great character trait. Let's go with sticky fingers.
sticky
think-
fingers. Beautiful.
So in place
Yeah.
of callous, sticky fingers, is that the proposal?
Because I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's not my position to say, but I was thinking, sometimes I've been a little bit reckless, and then
Yes.
especially with the stick my nose where it doesn't belong, and
Yeah.
and now saying the kleptomaniac, like, yeah, I'm taking chances that I probably shouldn't take. But yeah, I like
That's
sticky
really
fingers.
fun, man.
Yeah.
I would I also second Charles's nomination for Sticky Fingers. And I also chime in for Reckless.
Yeah.
Because I also understand that that's going to make the game so much more fun.
So are we proposing both of those? Those are both character traits, I think.
Yeah. Character. Yeah.
And well, so
I
what if
have
we
a-
did this?
I-
What if we made those almost feel identical to each other? What if we made reckless the character trait and then created as a call-on trait sticky fingers, where if you get a second bite at the apple when you're trying to steal something.
Call on for sleight of hand.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh, that is good.
Oh, that is very elegant, Charles.
Charles, I like this.
Just reading your.
Yeah, I'm trying
That's
to get this
very
changed to
elegant.
Chuck, so you quit calling me Charles. Hang on one second.
Charles is my father's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. All
So,
right.
yeah, I like that. Do you like that, Eric? Do you, Peter?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, so reckless character trait.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so delete callous or edit callous and make it into reckless.
Reckless character trait. Okay.
And then delete
And then
cowardly.
Yeah.
And then create a new call-on trait called sticky fingers. And we should specify which skill it works with.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, great. That is a skill. Got it. Is it actually a skill he has? No, it is not.
You could call.
Hey,
You
that's
could
the great
call
thing
on for
about the
skills being
burning
learned,
wheel.
and
You
then
can get it.
I
Yeah.
just was wondering how interesting it was going to be. So that's cute. So it's sticky fingers. It's a call-on trait for a skill that he doesn't have, and he's going to be learning it. That's great.
Yeah, because like I've been stealing stuff. Being a thief is not necessarily my forte.
Right.
I'm used to stealing like whole people. So
Right. That's right.
But I think it
being
kind of
sneaky and
works
stealing
also
small
because you
things.
came into the world of magic,
Mhm.
and it's attracting you, and now you're like, oh, these mystical shiny baubles. I want them.
Okay.
I have one more for you, Eric.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, like, some I'm thinking alert, but I'm not sure if I was imagining your characters like that, or if that's because I think that there was a lot of Artha spent to reduce your hesitation. There was a lot of like role play about being aware of surroundings. It's
Mhm.
in your instinct.
Yep.
So
Sniffing around and like ears pricking up and stuff.
I have
so
a great idea around that. If you do get it, you can say that whenever you use that skill, there's a chance that someone gets an idea that you're a rat, because when you become very alert, your ears perk up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like my nose twitches
yeah.
and I kind of like kind of like a little more like jerky kind of.
So the we could call it whiskers, or and it's a die trait. Alert is little electric voices echo around the character's skull. Character may glance, assess, and aim when stand, drool, hesitating. Therefore, if your character hesitates for 2 actions in fight, he may shit himself and get 2 aiming dice. In range and cover, alert grants 1d for the next shot after the character finishes hesitating. So it's a really cool fight-related advantage for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. Sort of like almost like the cornered,
And I
if
like it. If you have throwing, right? You have throwing knives?
no, but
Oh,
I
because
like
that's
that. I
kind
like
of
that idea.
what it's saying there. It's saying that you could glance, assess, and aim. So that's really for knife throwing, so you're frozen and then you.
I'm into
Let
that.
me grab my book real quick so I can follow what you're talking about with alertness.
Yeah, I was just reading this one before
Hey,
the
I'm gonna grab some coffee too. I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute. Perfect timing for this tiny break.
I don't know. I picked that you don't have a knife that it's throwing. Okay, so I knew I was kind of doing something where I was like
But I do
picturing
like that
how I
idea though.
see a rodent assassin type character
Mhm.
and building it. But I do think a reduction to hesitation and an action during hesitation is really cool.
Well, I mean, the cowardly increased my hesitation, so I think I take off whatever penalty that I had from the cowardly.
And I'm saying even more so that you're so not that,
Mhm.
you seemed
Action.
very poised and ready for action.
Yeah. Even if I was
But
like when like that first encounter with the magic triple cat and stuff, like even though I was hesitating, I was still thinking about my next move. Like I couldn't. It's like it's less like I was hesitating and more like waiting for my opening.
have you spent any speed the Artha on speed?
I think my speed went up last session.
Yeah, you're B4 speed now. Cool.
Yeah, I was using it a lot. I can't remember if I was using Arthur on it though a
'Cause
lot.
that would kind of show us that, like, if you were spending a lot of Artha on speed, it would show like a desire for, or
Hmm.
that's kind of how trait votes work. You see where you've been spending Artha.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I like an so you can throw a knife with just the knife skill, right? Do you have the knife skill?
I have knife. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you have knives. Look at that. And I think that allows you to throw them.
I
We
mean,
should get you actually, I think this is the reason why we need to get you a good set of throwing knives. That should be an objective what we could use
yeah, I
something
mean,
always good to have a sense of what you want to do with your resources.
his stats are very good. Like, you have agility 6, perception 5, and speed 4 now. If you can get to, 666 on all three of those, you'll be a knife throwing maniac.
Knives is not a throwing skill. It's hand-to-hand knife fighting technique. So what is the throwing knife skill?
Just throwing.
Throwing.
You have to
Oh.
do throwing.
You just throw
So
whatever.
that's the thing to work on. Let's get you going on the throwing.
Yeah, I
It's
like that.
he
Yeah,
has to
I
open a
never
new
thought about
skill.
that, Sanjay, but I do like that. I do like that idea. Skulking around and then like popping into action, and then like, because I have been coming in like with my claws and teeth, and it's been awesome. But I do think I need some space between me and these enemies because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because
I'm not big. I'm not like big and strong.
Yeah.
Luke had pointed out on my character sheet, he's like, you better bump up that power fast. I'm a power 3 as well, because
Yeah.
one solid lock can get you really in a dangerous position, like
Yeah.
if your stat is dropped down to 0, you're incapacitated. So
I have a
There's one.
character power of 6. He's kind of like a Conan-ish character. He's
Wow.
nice.
pretty powerful.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
amazing.
Where's
That's
the
amazing.
where's hesitation on the sheet? I keep scrolling up and down and I can't
It's
find
right
it.
neck. It's in the under the attributes.
It's a stat.
Attributes.
It's like written down: reflexes, mortal wound, hesitation.
Oh, right. Okay.
You're 6.
Yeah. So my
Great.
I'm trying to change
Oh,
it.
that comes off now. That goes down
The
to 5.
hesitation is simply calculated, I think. How do you change that?
Yeah, because my hesitation actually. So maybe this is just how it's supposed to be, and when I poured it over to the Foundry, maybe it wasn't changed. Because on Roll20, I think I did it manually with
I'll calculate. Let
with
me see how you
Cowardly,
calculate hesitation. Let me just look it up real quick.
because
So
I no longer have Cowardly.
It's 10 minus
So-
will.
10 minus will.
Okay,
Yeah.
10 minus will. So it's 6. So
I think
okay, so
no, I
that's
could
it.
be wrong. That's wrong.
That's what it's.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
No, it's 10 minus your steel. It should be
10
5.
minus.
5. Okay.
Should be 5.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so you're not able to edit the hesitation?
No. Unless there's a little clicky pencil box button somewhere that I can't
No,
see.
there isn't. I think it's just
So-
calculated.
That's weird because it's
So it seems like it's
it-
incorporating the penalty from Cowardly, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Cowardly though bumps your hesitation up by 2, not by 1.
I think it's just 1.
No, it's
Oh, is it
1.
1?
It's just
Oh,
1.
okay,
Yeah,
there
I'm
you
looking
go.
at it.
2 would be.
And you've
brutal.
deleted the Cowardly. The Cowardly is gone now.
I did, yeah, but I'm not even sure if there was like a spot for the penalty to calculate in in the program. I don't know.
Anyway,
I
so
think
it's
maybe we
5.
can just remember. Yeah, I'll just, kind of remember. Try to
In this
remember.
one, I'm sure it's calculated. In Rule 20, it probably isn't.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so the question is, why is it calculating it as 6? Like, what's it basing that on?
What is quick-blooded? That's a great one.
Well, maybe try this,
It
Eric.
means I
Maybe
age faster, Sanj.
Oh,
Eric, maybe what we should do is we should all close your character and then reopen it, because
Oh.
maybe it needs to recalculate because you've deleted a thing.
Okay, close that.
If is everybody closed, Nico?
I did.
I
Okay.
closed.
Okay, so let's go ahead and reopen and see if the hesitation's been fixed.
No.
No, weird.
Okay. That's not a huge pressing deal.
No, just weird.
So should we go with alert? I like, but call it whiskers. I love the tie-in to, how somebody who's suspicious might perceive him to be.
I love it. I love the
I
idea.
love
So,
that, Peter.
Peter, how do you feel about alert? That's a die trait. We've given him a character trait, a call-on trait. Is adding a die trait going too far, or is it reasonable?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I love the flavor of calling it whiskers.
Me too,
Twitching
'cause
whiskers.
Yeah, because it really it's really evocative. It really makes it's so much of a clear how alert looks and how it could be troublesome.
And that's how
it bakes it right in there.
Yeah,
and that's,
if you can, I would put
that's
just put
good
the
burning wheel.
yeah, I agreed. Yeah, throw on the adjective twitching in front, as just so that it's not just, if you just have whiskers, you may just later on look at it and think that it's just a description of what you look like.
Right.
It's an alertness plus it also could get you in trouble because it does make you look more ratty.
Okay, so twitching whiskers, I'm putting it in the die trait section. There's a bunch of little things to click. Has die modifier, has ob modifier, blah 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 blah.
Oh, in fact, Eric, why don't you do this? Instead, why don't you add the existing die trait alertness, and then we'll edit it. Then we'll change its name afterward.
Okay, cool.
Because that way you'll have all the day trait stuff in there.
And it will add the bonuses where they need.
Hopefully, it'll add the bonuses where they appropriately are needed. Yeah.
Okay, so world, common skills. Searching for alert.
I'm gonna get a coffee too. I'll be right there.
Okay, this is not working.
Didn't work? Oh well.
Well, no. I mean, I just don't know how to. I think I might just be doing something wrong. Okay, add new trait. Now when you search, how does the search work? Because there's a sources says world and common skills.
If it's an existing trait, then it's going to search the compendium for it.
Yeah, you're looking. Yeah, you got to be searching the right thing though.
So should I with my characters off the common skills in the world?
You definitely want to search for it because then it'll have all of the correct settings for the skill.
Yeah, so when you first go into close everything out and then click the die traits plus, and then instead of make new trait, import an existing trait.
Yep. Yeah, I'm to that screen now.
Okay, and then under sources, it should have common traits, melee weapons, and all that crap. And you should be able to scroll down.
Okay, I see. I didn't realize you can click on there and open up new little compendiums there.
Yeah. If you scroll down, it's probably in there somewhere. Alertness.
These are common traits. Alert. Here we go. Bingo. Got it.
Good.
Yeah, I just didn't know how to search that.
And then now the question is whether
we're all learning.
And then hopefully now you can click the pencil next to it and change its name.
Yep. Bingo. Wicked. Okay. Twitching whiskers. Okay, and it's got all my bonuses. I think.
That's great. I love it. You got some good stuff there now. Sticky fingers, twitching whiskers. Oh,
Eventually his radness is gonna come back to haunt him, but he's played it pretty well and pretty safe so far.
Right. If my nature is going up if we were playing Torchbearer.
It's like it's like a ticking time bomb.
I really want to role play an arc in the below with your character.
Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I wanna play more Torchbearer, man. One of these days. Gotta do it again. But who's next?
I'll run it.
Oh wow, that'd be great. Let's do it.
I have some cool ideas for Freda.
Oh, wow.
Let's
Okay.
let's hear it.
Yeah, I think we're done with me. Let's move on. I'm sick of the attention.
So, Chuck, you want to read your traits?
Yeah, please. Here we go. Traits. Here we are. So character traits are boasting, laughing at bad fortune, and redhead of the cold waste. Die traits are affinity for rope, cold-blooded, and mark of privilege. And call-on traits are iron stomach. Feel disappointed that I have not been able to use my iron stomach so far in my life, but I have been trying to drink people under the table whenever I can.
That's cool. So
I know
really
it's not for me to say, but I would say that you're not much of a boaster.
Oh wow, that's
no,
something I've
I
really
think
been
he
wanting to
is.
lean into.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of initiated a lot of trouble being a boaster. Remember, like against the Thieves Guild, he stepped up and he's like, I'm blah blah blah. I'm a Stormer Wolfkin. Like
Yeah.
I think you talk about Stormer Wolfkin and your heritage a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's like enough about this guy already.
Yeah, that guy.
And maybe now you might be emboldened now, since we had like a success. That now maybe you're a little more proud, so maybe you can lean into it more.
Yeah, well, I really do want to hang on to boaster and do more boasting.
I would add
I have a trait for you, because I really saw it in your role play that you're bold, and I see it as a call on for persuasion and intimidation. Like.
Yeah, she's definitely bold. There's no doubt about that.
So is it a call in
and it's like, we gotta go. This is very, like.
Is it a call in for those things, or is it a call on for steel tests?
Yeah, like I do see that as a reduction, like a hesitation reduction thing. But what I'm specifically
you're thinking
talking
more
about
in those other things,
was when you the way Freda the way you roleplay Freda, like calling the shots, okay, let's get
go
this,
do this.
let's go do this. It's we have things, you have pressing business, let's get it done.
So it's more like a
resolute
leader.
I think there's like a resoluteness about Frida.
I like that word.
Leads from the front.
I don't think she's very cold-blooded either.
I think that might be true.
No, not cold-blooded.
No, I think if anything, I'm thinking along the lines of like, I feel like she's like a protector. Like she comes in and keeps us like little skinny ones safe, because Vina and Nico are always like, that'd
be a great trait to get you in trouble ridiculous. Too, where I don't know if there's a trait specifically named, but I think Eric is right on it. I think there should be something like, I don't know if it's called protector or what, but if we could find that trait, that's perfect.
She's like, so we've got like the rat and the snake that are always just like getting all squirrely, another animal. And then there's and then the mama bear kind of comes in and just like, okay, you two, like, and then kind of
oh my god, Eric, this is great imagery for our party.
Yeah, it's great. I totally agree.
Rat, snake, and bear.
Rat, snake, and bear.
Frida, do you think a bear is an animal that is kind of
Yeah.
that Frida kind of embodies, or is it more like a snow, like a cat, like a well, cat? No, we're not allowing cats. We've been through
I
enough
think
cats.
cats have, yeah, no cats.
But you
So
know, like a
no, I
wolf
think I
or like
like,
a
well, she does have this wolf thing going in the name, but in some ways, actually, I think she needs to establish an identity of independent of a Stormer Wolfkin, her famous ancestor,
yep.
famous in her brain, famous to nobody else. So yeah, I think that the idea of calling ourselves rat, wolf, rat, snake, and bear is a great one.
That is
Partly because it just,
interesting.
yeah, it gives us an identity that's ours. If Bofford and Gray Mouse are the prototypes that we're following and giving us an identity like that is a nice one. So are you suggesting a character trait of Mama Bear? Is that right, or is it a call-on trait?
I'm not
I
sure.
do think you should have a call-on trait for. I don't know, like, can we see, like, did you use intimidation a lot, or did you spend
Good question. Let's take a look at my checks on intimidation.
Some of these traits are just wild, and they don't have any explanations.
I know.
Fear of wet noises. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I think that's like a Cthulhu thing.
It's really interesting. The most
Yeah, her intimidation is
strange
actually
names
kind of
have no.
low. Let me look at the other site, because I can't believe she
Yeah.
only has intimidation of 1. That seems crazy. With no checks on it, that suggests she hasn't done it at all.
No,
But
you've
I
done it for
remember
sure.
doing intimidation, so I don't know what's wrong with that. Maybe that didn't get transferred over correctly.
But I like the word. I like a call-on of just resolute. I mean, a character trait of resolute.
Yeah,
But
that seems to make more sense.
this thing I'm thinking of something related to persuasion. Almost, I do see your character as a leader.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, you have a leader kind of personality. So commanding, like, oh, let
And
me look that up.
she kind of like gets right to the point.
Yeah.
Like takes a situation that's getting out of control and is just like, okay, this is what we're doing now. I mean, it usually, has to do with like smashing and killing, but but
Definitely.
but like she definitely like takes it by the reins, and like even if it feels like even if she doesn't quite know what she's doing, she kind of knows that like we have to do something, and she's gonna take the lead.
Yeah. Good leader kind of thing. I don't know.
Trying to find.
I'm looking up.
What about giving it a fancy name like Leader from the North?
Yeah.
Or leading from the front.
Hold on.
It does turn out that she did do intimidation at least 3 times. There were checks over in the other system. So I moved
any
those over.
recording of Artha on any of these? No,
I don't think it's, how do I,
you're not seeing it.
oh, I see it. Yeah. So in the new system, I've spent Artha on foraging and on, I don't know why and on sword. I know I've spent persona points, and I just don't know what. Oh, it looks like I spent. Yeah, I don't know what I spent persona points on. It's strange that there's none marked. Confusing.
Okay, so this one is the character possesses in commanding aura. The character possesses an imperious and imposing demeanor. His merest words seem like fiat, and his statements like edicts. His lessers feel compelled to obey. Add +1d to the character's command skill. Okay, that's not quite right. because you don't, I don't know, it seems too high, you know, like
Right.
you're not a commander yet. When you're
Right.
Conan general, then
Yeah.
And I think what I think the leadership is she kind of galvanizes us. Like she sort of like
Oh,
reassures us, you
galvanizing
know.
presence. That's one from the dwarf.
Oh,
Well, that's actually a trait.
Yeah. Galvanizing presence. I think of that actually I like that because it has a Norse feel to it. Galvanizing presence is a call on for command and conspicuous.
oh,
That goes cool with the
yeah.
boasting too.
Yeah, I think it does. I
It's
like
not a
that.
dwarf trait. It is a dwarven life path trait, but I think it's exactly what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you?
but I don't know about command because I don't know, you didn't do command and but you did a lot of persuasion, no?
Yeah. I did a lot of intimidation, it turns out. I haven't
Oh,
really done much persuasion. Uh, I think we should. So I don't actually have the skill command, but just as we were doing with Nico, we could decide that, you know, it's a thing I have a
yeah.
call on for, even though I don't have the skill yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, lean into it for future. That's like maybe you learn that now you can be a command, like you
I
can
can be a
use,
commander, yeah.
yeah.
And command is good in terms of getting people to snap out of their funk when you're when they're
Hesitating.
hesitating. Yeah.
Well, I think you led the whole battle against the pirates, you know,
Yeah.
and that means like even the sailors were kind of following your lead, which is kind of cool.
And you definitely used command or something to you did help us with our hesitation, like in at least one time
There
Yeah.
was
in
that
a
time
fight.
that you were frozen in place. Uh, you and I both were frozen in place for a little while, and then I snapped out of it, and we got you out of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely that time. All right. So should I write that down as a call-on trait, galvanizing presence?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let me get that
I love it.
created.
What a great name for a call-on trait.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah, it really helps convey the idea that she's like getting us all together, you know, like
It does say, guys, it says call on for command or conspicuous.
Got it.
Okay. So pick one.
Pick one. Got it. Why is
we
this
have no
not showing
problems
up in
with
my
being
list of
conspicuous.
traits?
But I have no problem if it's both either. Like
Yeah.
I think typically they're supposed to be
more
just
power
one.
for the party.
They're supposed to just be one, so we should probably just do one. You know,
Yeah.
for strangely, it's not showing up as a trait here, so I'm gonna have to create it. I guess it knows that I'm a human, and so it doesn't want to show me the dwarven
Oh,
traits.
okay.
So I will
Oh,
create.
is it a dwarven trait? Okay.
But you know, we can give it a new name if we
I'm
want
okay
to.
with it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it.
The other ones I had in my thing, it's in my list for you was booming voice, fearless,
Mhm.
and fearless. But I'm happy with this one too.
Well, what does booming voice do?
It's another dwarf one. There. I actually no, it's not. I think it's a regular one. Booming voice. Must be a call on for conspicuous as well. This character, oh no, it's general. This character's voice cuts through walls and overpowers other speakers. This is a call on for conspicuous, oratory, or command. Pick one. So very similar to galvanizing
Got it.
presence.
Oh, let's change to booming voice. I like the name booming voice, and besides, it's
It matches it ties into boastful again,
I
right?
agree.
Yeah.
And
And
so I
that's
got
how
to
you
choose.
role play. You're
Yeah, it's
literally
true.
when you do your Freda's voice, she's always like, "Let's get out of here."
So my choices are conspicuous, command, or what was the other one?
Conspicuous, command, oratory.
Or oratory.
Hmm.
I got to think about that. Okay.
Oh, there's a lot to like about it.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So we've added booming voice so far.
Yeah.
Was there something else that you guys had thought of as a character trait or a die trait?
Yeah, I'm thinking, is there anything about die trait that again about steel, I have fearless on my list.
Hmm.
But that's a -3 on your hesitation in fight.
Jesus, that's
Yeah,
major.
it's major.
Yeah, it feels like something one earns over time.
I mean, I do think that you were pretty cool with charging in with your shield and trying to jam the gate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was really cool. That was really, really like scary.
Yeah, I thought we were all gonna we were gonna
I
be in a
imagine that
tough spot.
portcullis would have been if you failed, you could
Yeah,
literally
cut in
die.
half. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be really deadly.
Oh my God, it's so funny how in Burning Wheel something like that is like a truly a deadly
Yeah.
maneuver.
But I still think you should lose cold-blooded.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop cold-blooded, and should I add fearless in its place?
Yeah, because it's the same effect, right?
Sure.
It's a cold-blooded, I think, is a steel boost hesitation reduction for gore and sick, you know.
They work on slightly different situations. So fearless doesn't work for wonderment, but it does work for some other things.
Yeah, which fits, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think cold-blooded has to do with reduces hesitation for death, which
Yeah,
is
you're
I think you guys are
murderous.
right, murderous, and that's not really what she is.
That's not who you are, no.
All right.
I feel like I'm more murderous.
You might be. I think you actually are. I think that's definitely true. I don't think she is terribly murderous. If they'll stay down, she's perfectly happy.
I really want to lean
Exactly.
into Venus' evil side.
Yeah. Whereas, you're a little vindictive. Um, all right. Well, I think that's great. We've added booming voice and fearless. That seems exactly like the way I wanted to play the character. So I'm really happy with what you guys see in her.
Nice.
So let's do Vina.
Well, so Vina is brown skin, drop dead gorgeous, green eyed, off kilter, paranoid, sinuous, numb, and second sight.
Right. So the one of the things that you've really done a great job of playing is your affinity or interest in magic.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there were a call-on trait for something to do with noticing magic taking place, I don't know.
That's cool.
I guess one of the things you can use the second sight allows you to do an observation check. Is that correct? Or a perception check when there's magic involved? What's the
Yeah, second sight is the reading auras and
right,
sensing the seeing the flow of magic around me, you know?
right. So you've
Um
been doing that so much that one thing we could give you is a call-on trait for that skill. On the
yeah.
other hand,
Oh,
maybe,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Call on for aura reading.
call-on for aura reading. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's neat. What are we
What do
gonna
you think
call
of
it?
that, Eric?
What is it?
So we were thinking she does so much aura reading and she's so fascinated by magic that we were thinking that perhaps she has she gets a call on trait for that skill of aura reading.
Yeah. I think it's great.
So
It's almost
magically
like,
attuned.
yeah.
It's like a second sight is becoming like second nature.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Second sight is second nature is another way of putting it.
I could just, yeah, I kind of, what do we call it? Mystic eye, like something mystic.
Or third eye. I like third eye because it plays on
Third
second
eye, yeah,
sight.
because I've been
Second sight, third
talking.
eye.
So there's second sight, and now I'm actually feeling the third eye, you know?
Feeling the third eye, yeah.
That reminds me
Cool.
of that Twilight episode, a Twilight Zone episode.
Okay,
Third
I like
eye
that.
opening.
Thank you. That would be really fun.
Great.
Okay, so just call on for aura reading. Make a new trait. Call on third eye.
And for character traits, you've got off kilter and paranoid. But I wonder if we could. I like the idea of vindictive or vengeful, either in addition or instead of one of those. I feel like off kilter and paranoid, they feel sort of similar to each other.
And I definitely, I'm not feeling off kilter really.
Yeah, I've been more
off kilter
poised.
seems like you're definitely more poised.
More poised,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe vindictive in place
Yeah, I
of
like
off
that.
kilter. Especially since you're made, when we asked you, what do you want to do when you get back? You're like, I want to get vengeance.
I want to kill somebody.
And I was like, who do you want to take vengeance on? And we went, and you were like, all of them.
I just think that's also going to be really fun for us.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, let me make a new trait. Call it vindictive or vengeful.
Which do you like better? Which phrase?
Vengeful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think your character is definitely vengeful. I don't think that's a stretch.
Yeah, vengeful is more like action, like the actions of it, and vindictive might be more like a lot more like thinking about
And
it.
more petty in a sense.
Yeah, I think like
just
with
like more like
vengeful,
obsessive about it. But the vengeful is
Yeah.
like you're going
Yeah.
yeah, like
vengeance.
yeah, next exactly, a bit more like there is that also the mess kind of like she's messianic about having been a slave, like a harem slave, so she's a bit like obsessed with or that her hatred for slavers and all that has been a big theme in my beliefs, right? My second belief, my freedom from Raja Jadugar was hard fought. I will be a slave to no man, right? The bookshop owner of Lankhmar used me for his own gain. I will see him dead.
There you go. And then
There
as
you
for a
go.
die trait, you've been really interested in moving into using magic. And Peter gets, final veto over this. But, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like you've been so laser focused on that. If there's a die trait that you could take that would put you a step further or a step toward actually casting sorceress spells, that would make sense to me.
I think I have that planned in her,
You got that worked out.
Point. I think,
Got it.
You guys
Understood.
are ready to pursue it. I think when she goes for a deed, she's gonna be able to use magic.
But
Okay.
there is a trait that would cut the number of tests that you have to do for skills being learned. Like your affinity, like affinity for it reduces the number of when you have to do let's say to learn sorcery, you have to do 10 minus the average of will and perception to beginner's luck test. There is a set of traits that reduce that. I think it's
Well, so Affinity 4 gives you a +1 die in doing a certain skill.
so it's not that it's I'm like literally saying like quick learner for certain thing, like good study. What is it called?
Quick study, maybe? Let's
Quick
look it up.
study, I think it was. Yeah, something. It's in the book.
OPQ. Quick study.
Because
Reduces your perception aptitude by 1. So
right,
yes, it reduces not all skills, but specifically skills that are perception based rather than will based.
which is sorcery.
Gotcha.
And I think that I really want that for just because it'll take like the whole then
No, I hear you.
learning new sorcerer skills in Burning Wheel is so painful. Like, like there's such a chance of failure. So I would love that if you could if you agree to that, Peter.
Say that
So
again.
the case for this is that you've been studying magic books a lot, and you've clearly established a kind of interest in study. And the question is whether we want to sort of grant you quick study, and which would give you quicker, a lower aptitude, and therefore you would more quickly earn beginners, or you'd get past the beginner's luck phase with all your perception-based skills.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, great. Quick study. Good
Is
call.
awesome. I'm so happy.
But now to get your deed point, you're going to have to face your fears and go to Cornwall.
Love it. All right, I gotta take a quick bathroom break, and I will be back, and we can get our story started. Does that sound like a good plan?
I think we also have to do a maintenance. It's time to do maintenance as well.
Oh,
what's
a resource maintenance.
Oh, resource tests. Gotcha. All right. Quick bathroom break then.
Yep.
Quick study, where is it?
Hey, Mia. Hi.
Okay.
Oh, how lovely. Wow, it's so nice outside, huh?
Oh, quick study. Nice. That is gonna make life so much easier. Oh. Huge column for orating third eye. I love how Burning Wheel rewards you for the type of role play you want. One second, I'm getting socks. My feet are so full. Peter, how's your game with Paco Dancer? Huh?
What's that?
Your game with Paco Dancer.
Oh, Paco Dancer? Yeah, it's interesting. My character has been doing really poorly, but we're playing in Hyboria, so it's Conan like world. We've actually interacted a lot with Conan.
Cool.
But oh man, it's brutal. My character's he's like a warrior, so man, I've been getting so fucked up. And when you get hurt in the game, your character's down and out, you know? And
Yeah.
it's happening a lot.
I think I read that he um reduced, like modified the rules so that all healing is at the lowest possible time interval, um to kind of speed up the action and keep it heroic, which
Yeah,
I think
he
is a good
did. And
idea.
he had to, because like, you know, my character was out multiple games, so it was, tough.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna handle that kind of aspect of the game, like when with this group, or like if we get hurt, there's cool things you could do with the downtime, and the other party can you can kind of do a massive bloody versus for a giant like adventure sequence, like say, oh yeah, we're gonna raid this tomb and just turn it into a big versus test, right?
Right.
And say, oh, 3 weeks went by and you guys explored the tomb of Atuan or whatever. But yeah, I don't know that I've never in all my games, we as a GM or everything, we've never really had those kind of -3D severe wounds or something like that that would really put you out for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, this game though, it is like a Conan-ish game, so there's a lot of combat in it.
Nice.
Yeah,
And how are you doing the combats? Bloody versus or fight?
we do quite a bit of fight.
Amazing.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of fight. I would say we've had 5 or 6 full-blown fights.
That's awesome.
Yeah, almost one a session. Not really, maybe one every other session on average, but a lot.
I don't know if
Yeah.
any of you guys have if you I need some, there is a really cool set of fight cards on the Reddit, Burning Wheel Reddit. Somebody had, no, on the Burning Wheel forums. And if you print them on like playing card sheets, you can almost play fight like a card game. You know what I mean? Like put your hands down. I think it's like I want to. I don't know how to print them actually. I'm kind of
You
My
know
I
who
have the
can, if
file,
you
but I don't
have the
know.
cards, you can submit that PDF, and I don't know the exact steps for this, at Drive-Through RPG and get them printed out.
Yeah. And also, I was just talking to my buddy last night. He and his brother make different card sets for D&D, for like different stuff, and they sell them on Etsy. But they have a large format printer, and they have a like a card cutter, like the
Oh,
dedicated like
nice.
card
Oh
cutter.
my God.
And I don't think it does rounded edges. But they make cards. So
So Eric, why don't I shoot the link over to you, and we can like you probably, I think all of us would find a set cool, because
yeah,
I think it would be really it's if you're playing Burning Wheel face to face, having cards would would be really fun actually.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be happy to pay your buddies too. I could think of
Yeah.
cards that I would want.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I actually am kind of working on my own role-playing system, so it's going to involve cards as well, the track stuff.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, and I do all the play materials and stuff for the games that I make. So
Oh.
yeah, I mean, I can do design and stuff too
Oh,
of stuff for
Wow,
cards
that's cool.
or
Maybe
whatever.
we should collab, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need another trip out to New York anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm missing? I wanted to go, I've been dying to go to this restaurant in New York, and it's called the Tokyo Record Bar. Have you heard of it?
I've heard about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be cool.
Yes.
Because
So
people
that's
Peter,
my
play records, right?
Eric, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be in Manhattan, June, the week of June 24th, 25th.
Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't live in New York City.
Yeah, you don't live in New York City. That's right. You live out in the boonies.
I live in the boonies.
Yeah.
I live in a very cute town called Clinton, though.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a little
How
sort
far are you away from the city?
of driving about 5 hours.
Oh, that's far.
Yeah, I mean, I do make it down. And me and my lady were gonna be going to a concert and then visiting sometime soon. I can't remember when, but yeah, it's I can make it. I make it down. But yeah,
So
I used to live there for quite some time.
I am trying to remember when we ended our last session, did we get paid any sort of money or something like that? Because
No.
really, we just did this whole thing for that noble family for free.
No, we didn't get there yet. We
Oh,
haven't
okay.
we haven't
We're about to get paid off.
well, it's the so the it's confusing because it's the prince should pay us for rescuing him, or
Sure.
something. Uh,
Well, we made a deal
and
with the family.
Alcarina's family, yes. They have to
Exactly.
Why
pay.
don't we do a roll? And I don't know who wants to do it. Maybe Nico, but someone needs to do like a roll to get the prince to pay up. It could be, I don't think it has to be haggling, but it has to be some role to justify, to explain maybe what you did in rescuing him, and that you're broke.
Right.
And then you can use that to make the maintenance role. Because I don't think it would be fair to make the maintenance role before you guys got paid.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
'Cause
what I
that
was
would have
concerned
been
about.
yeah, that would have been happening before we got back to.
So I kind of picture this test.
Maybe Vina is the right person to make the role. Because I think that Nico has a kind of quasi relationship. That's how you got that deed. I don't think it might not be appropriate for you.
Actually, I want to address that. I don't think I should take this deed point. I I had nothing to do with the decision. Like,
You know what though? You didn't, but it was your overriding belief that you were trying to find someone to serve, and now you found that person.
yeah, but I didn't decide.
Yeah, like Peter, I feel like Nico doesn't know anything about this prince, and like there still needs to be like development of the role play to say, this guy's trustworthy and I can work with him. Like Nico,
I
I guess Eric, you're
think
saying
that
just
that
because he's a rat dude, you don't really trust him.
I don't know. I think it's different. I think you found a prince. He's also a rat. I think that would be like a sign, a strong sign that this is the person that's supposed to lead you.
Right, but you're deciding that for Nico, not me.
Oh,
Mm.
that's true. It's
You
up
know.
to you guys. I just thought it felt so perfect, like it fit into what you were looking for.
I mean, I think something like that needs to be like presented to me, um, because basically, like kind of like now, like it's now you've kind of decided you've basically told me that like this is my new leader, and I had nothing to do with the decision. So I think like I don't know, I think something as huge as a deed point, like as important as it is, I didn't do anything to earn it, or um nothing flipped in my own role playing or me as a player
Right. Okay.
to
No,
to
fair
decide
enough.
that. And I
Good.
I appreciate it, but like I don't think it's fair to the other guys, and I don't think it's fair to me, um to yeah, I mean, I think it needs to be like my decision whether I want to fall in with this guy or not.
Right,
Okay.
like,
No, fair
yeah,
enough.
but you could, it's now to explore the relationship between Nico and the prince, because in Nico very much has beliefs about tearing down the towers of of power and society, right? Like,
Hmm.
right, and you're kind of a rebel and not so much into princely sorts, right? So
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, this
now
this
that you've
this
seen
could change that a little bit.
that there is a mouse guy as a prince, what does that mean to you? That's
Yeah,
the question.
yeah. And there's a lot to think about that. And that filters through my desire to find someone to work for. Um, but yeah, I think it needs to be explored. I mean, it might lead to a deeds point. But I think like him just appearing is not enough for me to get it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Well,
And there,
so
I mean,
I'm
also in the,
editing our end of our session from last time to reflect this. So it now says instead of he was revealed to be a rat and Nico realized this was her new patron, it now says he was now realized to be a rat and Nico wondered if this could be her new patron. Does that sound a better description of where you
Right.
are, Eric?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm still fielding applicants, but this guy's like, maybe a little
Got
higher
it.
on the,
And then
more impressive, but
for your second belief, it was contracts always have loopholes, and I have learned to slip through many of them, but I no longer want to worry about my quarry and my employer. Elka appears to be a woman of strength and wisdom, and working for her could be fruitful, but she is a child of the cat. I will determine what her true intentions lie.
right.
Instead of subverted and replaced with a new employer, was there any progress on that? And indeed, should it be subverted? Should we just give you a fate point for that, a persona point for it? Because
I
something
would say
happened
at
on it.
least a persona then, if not a deed.
but we
So one of the
didn't,
things
so that there wasn't, we haven't, that scene,
that scene
um,
hasn't happened is the point.
no,
We
the
haven't had a
scene
scene
hasn't
where
happened.
No,
got it.
I haven't determined whether, um, I'm, Elka
Okay,
is still on my
gotcha.
mind, whether we can still, whether we should, continue to
Okay.
work with her. Like it's still getting felt out. Now I've
Yeah,
got like
like
kind of like two contenders.
I also feel strongly about Elka too. Like I'm very drawn to her as a patron because of um uh, her being a powerful wizard is very interesting to me, you know. But she seems to be so far away from my city, and right now I just have a deep distrust for sorceress types. So I don't know. But I was thinking of like maybe initiating a scene asking her for apprenticeship or something, but I kind of think that my future lies in Quarmal, right? So I've been told that by Ningalob. Um, so we'll see. Anyway, so that was yeah, so we're like we're on the boat and we have the prince with us, and I think we're talking about who should lead that conversation about, the thing. And it definitely, now that we know the context, I think Nico, I
Mhm.
think it makes sense that you're kind of like leading the conversation, talking to the prince about what we've done and whether we should get paid. And I think 3D is kind of good for us. No, maybe that might
3D
be
of
high.
money, resources.
Cash is a very, resources, and the rules are very weird. Like I don't, I find it, I love it, but I find it hard to grok.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm still just this. I don't mean to be difficult about this. I'm just trying to figure out we've erased the deeds point and essentially we've left belief two. There's nothing has happened with belief two. It's sort of hanging. No fate, no persona. Is that your feeling, Eric? that you don't want to fate. I think you should at least take a fate point because you worked on it. Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got four. I mean, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay just to kind of like
He
Let it
has
slide.
14 fate points.
let it roll. Yeah, I
All
got
right.
14 fate, 5 persona. Like I'm good. You know, I was earning, you know, from other stuff.
I
I'm
understand.
good. Yeah.
All right. I'm taking it off. No reward
Yeah, that's fine.
for now. Okay, sounds good. So we need a scene before we go south with Elka to sort of finish out where we stand with her.
Yeah.
And then we can have a scene with the nobles to see who's going to pay us. I think that makes a lot of sense. So with Elka, Freda has a deep prejudice against the witchy women of the North. But Elka gave her a nice sword, so she kind of likes Elka. I don't think I have a horse in this fight at the moment. So if you guys want to proceed with Elka, that would be great.
What about the prince? Like, what's the prince doing? Like, what's his
Yeah, how's he
demeanor
acting?
like, Peter,
Yeah.
as we're walking back? Like,
Well,
what's
Freda has a thing with the prince.
pardon?
Freda has a thing with the prince, so she wants to sort of call his attention to her.
You
So
finally got to play that properly.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. So yeah, so there's the thing with the prince that we need to work out, and the thing with Elka. Let's do those scenes.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm not sure what he's doing. I'll have to think about that. Maybe we could talk about it.
And we'll follow your lead, Peter. It's you're at the helm. I know Burning Wheel is very character player driven, but like I love responding to the caprices of, you know, what you want to tell us is happening in the story
Right.
with the NPCs in the world and stuff.
Yeah, which do you want to do first? Because I think we all have an interest in the a number of has an interest in the prince. Freda has an interest in the prince. And now that we know that he's a rat, Nico has an interest in the prince. But we also have a couple of them have Vina and Nico both have interests in Elka.
I think this is a good time though to make that maintenance roll. Should we make it now then?
Well,
what's tricky
we
is
haven't gotten paid, right? So we don't know.
yeah,
Right.
and
I
I
just
picture
don't
the
want to keep
maintenance
putting
role
it
when we
off,
get
'cause-
back to
well,
I
let's
picture
just
the
do these.
maintenance
Let's
role
do a
to be
couple of
when we
quick.
get back to Lankhmar.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just do a couple of quick, just like quick resolution because I feel like it sounds like there's
Okay.
sort of threads hanging, and maybe what we can do is we can do a combo scene where we're talking to Elka, and we're also talking to the prince, because I think Nico is sort of deciding between the two of them as possible patrons, and that'll resolve Nico's situation. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about how to make this scene dramatic. Like, what is it that's going on in Elka's life that we need to make a dramatic choice about whether to stay up here in the north and work for her or go back to Lankhmar? Maybe that's the question is, are we staying up north and working for her, or are we going back to Lankhmar?
Well, I can definitely tell you that the prince wants to head back to Lankhmar ASAP.
Great. So what is it that Elka wants us to do up north, so that we can dramatically say no to her or dramatically say screw off Prince?
Well, let's get
Sorry, I don't
into
mean
the
to.
role play, guys. Let's get into the role play.
I'm
Get
just
your
structuring the situation. I need to have something to respond to.
My lord, we've sacrificed much on this errand, and I feel when we get back to the city of Lankhmar, the piper will come a calling, as 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 um as some say. Ah, we've expended quite a lot of resources to make it this far and free you. Is there any way that you can repay us for our endeavors.
This sounds like a persuasion role to me. I know he'll be extremely grateful, obviously. So I think you're going to get an advantage dice. For sure, you're going to get one advantage dice on this. But this will be a persuasion roll. And this guy has a high will, man. He's probably got a 7 will.
So I have an idea.
Okay.
I want to read his aura. Like I picture us by the fire, under, you know, in a little cave away from the snow, right? And we're sitting around there, and Freda is like flirting with him, kind of.
You want to do this as a link test into your persuasion?
Yeah, I want to aura read. I just want to kind of get a sense of what he's thinking. Okay, and that would.
And I think, and Nico is not talking to him that much, if at all, and just sort of observing him interacting with the other two. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of scoping him out, and as these guys interact with him, I'm trying to pick up cues and things about his personality.
Fair enough.
Whether that's a role or not, that's just where Nico's at.
No,
Okay.
that's okay. I don't think it'll play in yet, but we'll keep that thought.
Yep,
But let's
kind of keeping
do
an eye on things.
your aura reading, Sanj, and we'll make this a link test into your persuasion.
All right. So I want to see. So an op2. Okay, what do I need? I'm gonna get very technical here. I have a B3. So okay, op2, seeing character trait. Ob3, seeing a die on or call on trait. I don't think that it's either ob2, seeing a character trait like trustworthy, good guy, you know, noble, that kind of thing, like honest, whatever. Or sensing a person's intent to deceive, for example. I think that's too broad.
I think you need the intent. What's the intent one? What ob is that?
Op4. So
yeah, I think you kind of need the intent one to get a bonus to well, I don't want to be too harsh here.
well, we know, because we know he's grateful, and his demeanor is like pretty thankful. Like he's not being a imperious prick, right?
Right. I mean, we don't know that. Like we have literally had no idea of how he's acting, what he's saying, what he's doing.
Yeah,
We have no idea. We're just making things up.
yeah,
So
exactly.
what is
Peter, I
it?
think you got to do some more character development of this guy.
Yeah, we can't decide.
Peter, hold on. I gotta go get my battery, my charger.
I want saying that if he makes, depending upon, let's do it this way. If he wants to do the harder one, he'll learn more about the guy. Where if he does the easier one, he might learn a trait, but he won't learn his intentions.
Right. I guess just what I mean is it's just like the describe to live principle. You know, we just don't, I mean, it's like, I guess I come from like a background of where there's like very colorful description first, and then we decide based on that, rather than like rolling first and then finding out you know finding out what we see. It's like we're blind until we like roll the dice and then we see something. It's like I'm used to the other way around, you know.
All right, I would say that he seems to be very mission oriented. He is concerned about getting back to Lankhmar.
Is he? Yeah, and he's concerned because he was scheduled to marry somebody like 2 months ago, or maybe 6 months ago. I don't know much time has passed, but a long time ago. And you know, is that the noble family that he was supposed to marry into has sent us along with their ne'er-do-well, what was her name?
Alcarina
Alcarina has sent us along with Alcarina, but you know, they might meanwhile have, since this is just the ne'er-do-well, they may well have moved on and they're planning to marry their kid to somebody else at this point. So I can see why he's impatient. And in fact, Freda being Freda probably is saying this, oh, I can see why you would be worried. By now, I know Alcarina has come with us, but perhaps the family may be moving on. These noble families are of the South are not steadfast like us of the North. We noble families, we make a commitment and we hold fast, but the noble families of the South cannot be trusted.
So I'm going to say this, Ange, that if you do the Ob 2, you'll learn one of his traits. But if you do the Ob 4, then you will gain an insight that he's not telling you.
Cool.
You might learn what he's mission-oriented about a little bit more. You might get an inkling.
What the mission is.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not seeing this as a high stakes thing. I only have an aura reading of 3, so I'm just gonna go for the lower stakes routine test.
Although you do have a call on now for this.
I know, but still, like, so call on means I can roll failure, re-roll a failure.
You can re-roll all your failed dice.
Does that cost
Yeah,
a point?
but if he only has a 3 and nobody can help her, I understand where Sand is coming from. Plus,
agreed.
She's only going to get a bonus if she exceeds the Ob.
Oh, that's
So
right.
She only needs the Ob. Well, it's Ob 2 if she does that. So she needs a 3
you're right.
to get a bonus dice.
You're totally right. You've mathed it out correctly. Yes, absolutely.
All right, just the up 2.
Yep. Oh man.
Where is all this? What did I get?
And yeah, so this is I think the consequences of failure here, I mean, obviously you are going to get a -1 on your convincing, but I think that you might also have gotten the wrong aura reading from him.
Wait a second.
But you could. So I thought
was,
we decided that the obstacle here was 2. The obstacle
yeah,
was 3?
this is something got messed up.
Oh,
here.
shit.
The obstacle is set at difficult.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead and re-roll. It's at Ob 2 now.
Okay.
You're going to want to remove that
Pip.
difficult test you just earned because you didn't really do that.
How do I remove a test?
If you go in, you can reduce it by 1. Just click on the thing just before it.
Anyway, you know what? I'll do that later. Let me roll.
Okay.
I'll help you do it here. There, I've done it for you.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
Are the dice?
Still failed.
Yeah.
Doomed to
But
failure.
now you can re-roll with a fate. You can spend a fate to re-roll because this is what you have a call on for.
Nice.
Ah, nice. Well, I don't think you click on re-roll with fate though. Or maybe, I don't know if the game is that smart enough to actually know that you have a call on.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that how call-ons work? I've forgotten how they work.
Because he doesn't have a 6. So I think that the game will, the software will not recognize that he has a call on.
Well, then let's
Okay, so
see
I'll
how
just
call
roll
on-
another D6. How do I roll just a D6? Like
You get to
one
roll
D6.
2d6, right? You get to, with a call on, you get to re-roll every
One failed dice.
Is it
Really?
only 1 or is it all failed?
No, I think you get everyone.
Ah! Hold on. That is massive mistake I've been playing with for my whole life.
Let's just look up call-on traits here.
Yep.
Page 58.
Break a tie or allow their player to re-roll failed dice. on one
Yeah,
test.
plural.
Whoa. So 2d6. How do I do a roll? Like /
/r space 2d6.
Guys, that's huge. And I failed, I think.
It doesn't say what you
Oh,
got.
wow.
Yeah, 3 and a 1. That sucks.
Oh my God. I'm trying to toggle over the 4 and I'm not. Oh,
If you click on it, it'll tell you that it's a 3 and a 1.
Jesus Christ. That just sucks.
So the
Yes.
consequence of failure is that you get a kind of misread on his aura, and you do believe that he's worried to get back about the marriage.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to get a -1 to your persuasion roll.
Which is
Maybe
funny.
you're just being
So-
very annoying. He doesn't like you.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna exactly.
Who's
My
going to help?
persuasion isn't great anyway, so
Yeah, so I was going to describe earlier that Freda has been polishing and sharpening her sword, and is sort of, as she does this, has stripped down into really so she's not wearing a whole lot of clothes, and her whole arms, her ripply muscled arms, are showing as she polishes this and
Nice.
sharpens this sword in front of him. And I think what she's doing here is she is helping with intimidation, but she's also
Okay.
trying to light
Alluring,
a
maybe?
flame. Well, yeah, there is a warning there, but there's also
No, alluring.
some
I said
seduction.
alluring.
Something alluring as well as a warning. Yes, absolutely. Being a little bit
actually,
alluring.
Peter, I have and Chuck, I have an idea. I could also play into my bad girl side and fork in seduction. And like my read of his intent was that this is gonna work, instead of like he's thinking about marriage and being a good husband and all that.
This is your last chance to have fun. Yeah, there
This
you
is
go.
your last chance to have fun, and I kind of give you the little wink nod. Let's do a 2-on-1.
There you go. There you go.
Does Nico kind of like add to the little
Yeah.
show? I mean, I don't know what I would really do, because I'm definitely not like a seductive or outgoing person, but
So
I'm going to say, you know what would be funny is that if you guys fail, he accepts your offer, but from then on, he always kind of looks down on you three.
Oh,
Like you're courtesans, you're not
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I think that's an ugly consequence of failure, but one that we could it actually sort of fits with something Freda's been interested in with this guy. She's been wanting to attract him, and this was one way in which it could go badly wrong. So sure.
Nico, are you participating in this?
I'm trying to figure out how. Because I have to present some type of skill, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a persuasion?
I'm learning it,
Yeah, you couldn't use that then.
right? I've got soothing platitudes.
Oh, that's what you want. Soothing platitudes is nice sounding,
Yeah.
meaningless phrases. Absolutely.
Sort of like
It's your
kind of
way
like
of talking yourself out of trouble, though, right?
kind of, yeah. Yep.
But it's also a way of giving
No.
people meaningless compliments. You're such a handsome man, and
Can you guys read the skill again? Let's
Okay.
read it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's appropriate.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, my sense of the skill is a little bit different than yours, Peter. So let's look at the skill. Absolutely.
Skills. So many skills.
page 300.
Well, it's for placating angered or irksome fellows with words that say nothing but compliment everything. It was the compliment part that I was thinking about.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that fits for sure.
Looking good today, sire. Good show, sir. A masterpiece of ingenuity, Lord. The Pope isn't so benevolent as you, sire. Looking
Um,
fit and fine today, sir. God's own judgment would falter where yours stands true, Lord. Your ingenious calculations are beyond compare, Prime Minister.
All
He
right,
is,
I'm gonna buy it.
that's very funny.
I think how I'm going to do it is I'm going to act kind of like curious about his clothing or does he know I'm a rat? He's got to know I'm a rat too, right? I mean, we can kind of
No, he has
smell
no armor, but he has very rich and elegant looking clothing on.
but he knows I'm a rat though, right?
You could show him that.
You probably could assume so, because you could just see that he was one, so you think he probably sees that you're one.
Because I'm just trying
You
to.
know what? In fact, I will give you, even though you're getting -1, I'm gonna give you. I don't know if we should do it where they just offset each other, but I'm gonna give you a bonus one because you do have a rat with you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Sounds good.
say that your minus is canceled out.
Okay.
Okay, good, because I didn't know how to apply the minus in the app anyways.
Yeah, I think maybe with the soothing platitudes, I might be saying like, I've never seen quite, such finery, where I come from, sort of with like not saying that where I come from as a rat, but sort of like just maybe, if he does know, kind of like sort of meeting him there somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I think I'm just going to be like complimenting his clothing, in a way that's kind of like, I mean, his clothing and his demeanor and stuff, and like he's, this kind of like majestic,
Right.
person.
I would say that you being a rat and he being a rat, you probably know that you know. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like rats can kind of look at each other and know, oh yeah, that person's definitely a rat because they're so familiar. That's their own trait.
Right.
Mhm.
So he has a will of 7. He
He
is pretty
does.
badass. Oh my gosh.
A
We
will of
really should be.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Peter, a
really
will
should
of
be doing
7
this as
is
a.
like like in terms of stats, having a will of 7 is
He's a
is
prince.
He's a
He's
prince.
a prince and a major character.
Okay.
So what's at stake here is not whether he's going to pay us. He's going to pay us something no matter what, but is he going to pay us well and respect us? Or is he going to pay us kind of poorly and despise us? Is that right?
I don't think he'll despise you. I'll just think he'll always look down
Look,
on
he'll
you.
always look down on us. Yeah, that's the question. Yeah.
He just won't
Despise
like
is too
fully
strong.
respect us like how we want.
Okay,
All right.
I'm leading with seduction.
All right. So you've got seduction and you're
3.
forking in persuasion, or is it the other way around? You're leading with
Yeah.
persuasion and you're forking in seduction.
So I'm seduction B3,
Got it.
persuasion and falsehood, and I'm giving a persona dice. So I got 6 dice now, and I'm
Okay.
accepting help.
Okay, I will give you help. Um,
Click on the help button and then roll the skill you want to help with. Also, if you have a skill of 5, that helps with 2 dice.
Okay. I'm going to
So
help.
there's a little HLP above the
I
ob.
see it now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
And-
doing it, and I'm rolling my soothing platitudes,
Okay, so
soothing plats.
Vina like reads as like as she's leaning into the fire and getting close with Freda on the other side, like having stripped down to her, bra or whatever.
Or wife
and
beater.
and we're kind of, let's stay warm,
Yeah.
let's stay warm.
By
Oh,
the way,
man.
if you are successful, the flip side will happen. He'll always look to you important allies
important
to help
people.
them
Yeah.
do things.
Sounds good.
Uh,
So
You know what?
I have
I'll
help.
even say one more thing, and I know normally you guys might fault me for this because it's supposed to be the person who determines the intent is you guys, but you let me know if you think this is reasonable or not. I think he'll actually reveal his true mission.
That makes sense because he would trust us. That makes a lot of sense. And I like
feels,
that in terms of
he feels open to us and vulnerable because we're,
Yeah,
getting cuddly.
great.
You did save him. You guys did go through.
We did save him. Yeah.
so how about
So two questions really quick. Oh, I don't have much of a question. You go ahead, Sanj.
No, I saw I'm just role playing. Like I'm gonna about to roll, right? So I lean in and I say, so one more night of dalliance, fell prince, before you go off to your responsibilities. We've worked really hard and we could use a little leisure time.
Now,
Oh my God.
I'm rolling so shit today.
I was going to say, do you want to spend some more persona, but it doesn't matter because that was a terrible roll.
Oh my God, I suck at burning wheel.
Look at all those traitor dice.
A difficult seduction test, though.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I need a routine test for intimidation. I have all the challenging I could use, but I need a routine one.
So what does he
couldn't
do?
mark anything for mine.
Is he revolted by us or something? No.
Well, I think it was as
just...
established.
Yeah.
He just thinks we're the hired help. He treats us as less than.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did enjoy his evening, though.
But what about the pay? We do get paid,
he's
right?
gonna pay you. He's not gonna pay you badly either. I don't think you have enough of a consequence with him looking down on you. So I think he's gonna give you a 4 dice cash fund.
Okay.
So that's between the three of us, 4 dice. How do we record that? Is there a place where we put cash dice? Or
Yeah,
do we just...
in the money section of your character sheet. If you go down to it is below your attributes.
Yeah, cash.
So if you look
funds,
below resources
property.
to the right, you'll see cash, funds, property.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. So we've got an uneven number of dice now, which is not helpful. Each of us gets 1, and then we'll have 1 die in reserve for somebody who needs it. Is that what we're saying?
No, I think it's a 4 dice cash fund that one of you or you can use in a roll.
I think give it to Nico.
Okay.
And it'll only go away on a failed resource test when you use it.
I see. So it's one of us is taking 4 dice and the others are getting no dice. Is that right? Or each of us
but you all can decide amongst yourselves. It's like a group payment. Who's going to use?
I see. I figured we divvied it up and each took 1 die. I misunderstood how these cash dice work. Okay.
I actually don't know how it works, but yeah, you could the group could have it, and we could do a group maintenance test roll.
Well, I think his point is that we're since it's only going to go away on a failed resources test, we could
use it for a lot of things.
Yeah,
is that really how the cash dice work? That they stick around like that? I thought they could only be used on 1 roll.
I think
that's a regular cash dice, but this is a fund. He's giving.
Oh, it's a fund. I understand.
Yeah,
and
like the resource roll is using the funds frugally, like properly. It's not necessarily like spending it. It's how we can manage. It's how we manage our money, like resources in general. It's like that.
Right. Anytime
it's more like the how rather than the what.
anytime you want to use it, obviously you're risking it, but you're going to get 4 dice.
I
Okay,
see.
here, let me read it.
And we can each use it. It's like we all have the crew debit card.
Occasionally, a character will come into a substantial infusion of wealth, a large sum of cash, property, valuable antiques, or even bulk quantities of sellable goods. These durable boons provide a bonus to resources from 1 to 10 dice. They are not depleted like cash. However, if a
Oh.
character is taxed due to a failed resource test, the dice must be removed from the fund first and lost permanently. They
Got it.
cannot be regained via get a job process described above. So fun, like what is the Peter? How do you see the like in the fiction of the world? How do you see the fund? Like, is it?
I see
Oh,
it as this guy appreciates what you've done for him, and
uh-huh.
it's probably you can come to him for time from time to time for money.
We've got a letter of credit. From
Yeah.
Basically. Okay, Joe. He gives us exactly like a letter of credit, and we can go to any of his banks. The
That's right.
northern, the northern safe house or whatever.
Northern Trust,
Northern Trust.
Frozen Trust,
Yeah.
or Tundra Trust.
Well, I don't even think they have banks that are that developed, but I suspect that what we do is
Federal
when we go
Credit
to a
Union.
merchant, we show them the letter of credit and we tell them to get the money from him. And of course, he's also running on credit, weirdly, because there's not a lot of, it's weird. Money back then is really weird. There's not a lot of hard currency around. So everybody's running on credit.
Yeah.
At any rate, this is great. We've got a 4-die cash fund that we can use. I've never played with this rule before. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
We're ready to make our resources tests. Do we want to finish things out with Elka before we?
Yeah.
I think you guys have some unfinished business with Elka.
Mhm.
You know what? Let's wait on that because I kind of need to end around noon. I think it's time to do our persona stuff and maybe make this resource test.
Let's do the resource test then. Yeah, sounds good.
Now that you
All right.
guys have the money, I think there's no reason not to make it now.
Okay.
So how do we do maintenance? I've never really done it before.
So
Well, I mean, I think it's something we would do. So we'll retroactively do Elka next session. And
Right.
now we're getting back to Lankhmar and we're settling back into our old lives, and we just and our landlord comes due and he's like, hey, where's my rent? Things like that.
So the obstacle for a poor adventurer is to live a life in the river district of Lankhmar.
Right.
Is ob 2. So that's it. Yeah, it's an ob 2. So not like my resources is a B1. So I literally can't afford my lifestyle because I'm just a poor slave. But
Nico
now that we
has
have this cash,
resources 0, so she is really stuck.
Yep.
Nico is 0.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so it's Frida.
So when do we make this lifestyle maintenance test as one? Like
No, we do it individually. What page are you on?
individually, right?
Yeah,
So-
what page are you on?
But you can all use the fund in your
372.
rolls.
Okay,
And
cool.
you
So
may-
I'm gonna do it. Exponent 1, bonus dice.
Oh, let
4.
me change the ob. So it's 2, right? Ob 2.
Yeah. Bonus dice 4.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You know, I think I might go for ob 1 and just be no home, property, or possessions to speak of. No, I guess we're not. We're neither adventurer. Yeah, that's ob 2. No question.
So I'm getting the 4 bonus dice for this roll.
Yep. Just don't fail.
I mean, the way I've been
You know
rolling.
what? You know what? Sanj, I think it's a bad idea. Maybe for you. Oh, maybe it is the right way.
I think he should go first.
We should make the test first.
He should go
it's
first. He has the
more
best
to
chance of it.
savor. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the best chance of making it.
And I'm gonna spend persona because
Are you
One day I
able to
want to
spend
be
persona on this? I assume.
I don't think you really need to. I'm not saying not to, but I don't see how you'll fail this role.
Watch
Yeah, I
him.
guess so, because I'm
Just
going to be
watch.
left with one. I'm only going to be left with one persona point then. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's up to you, but I wouldn't do it.
Ready?
We're
But you seen how
gonna
I'm
all
rolling.
hate you when you fail this. We're gonna hate you. Those are the stakes.
So are you in so Sanj is using the fund?
He is.
And did not blow the funds, luckily. You showed that letter of credit around, and they said, sure, you can keep renting your apartment. Look at that.
Nice.
All right. So
Ooh.
I see it's a fund. I see where I write down a 4 dice fund.
Now, what's the op for Frida? Who's going next?
It's
the
either
same.
Freda or it doesn't matter too much, or Nico. Nico, do you want to go first or should I go first?
I guess I'll go. So
Are you going to spend a persona for this? I think I probably will myself.
I don't know. Here's
know.
the thing, though. I don't know what her ob is going to be, because it's not going to be the same as Vina.
Oh, you think it might be Ob 1 because she's so
She's
Ob 1
resource
is
0, so her lifestyle, I don't know how to calculate it.
well,
No,
it
you
says
just-
according to this,
It
it
is. It
says
is exactly what it is. If it's a poor adventure, it's a poor adventure.
yeah,
It's
I
Ob 2.
agree. It's Ob
What?
2.
I'm not seeing poor adventurer.
It's on
Hey.
page 372. Page 372. Ob 1 is no property, home, or possessions to speak of.
Right.
I mean, so the fact is I have no
poor
home
adventure.
or
Okay,
property.
Ob 2. I see. Yeah, I got it.
But so the question really is, you and your horse on the road. I don't own a horse, nor do I have.
But you do own a magic sword.
I do. Oh, I own a magic sword, so I definitely have Ob 2. The question is whether Nico has Ob 2 or she can get away with Ob 1.
I think Nico has Ob 1.
Okay, why don't you do yours first then? Since that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got resources of 0. So the only way I can make a roll is by using the funds, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
I click the die.
Other people can help you, though. If
Oh
they
yeah,
want.
you could get help from Sanj. You could help with your resources of 1.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you
so
want to
you're
risk
exposed to but then
Yeah.
you're exposed to the consequences of failure if this screws up.
No, but I'm
you
gonna
both
help.
suffer the tax, and I don't know if that means that 2 dice will get removed from the cash fund. It may mean that.
okay,
Okay.
so
I'm helping.
so can I
Okay.
use
Well,
it?
no, I think he's the cash fund is only being used by the one person because we're not adding in the cash funds twice. Does that make sense? So I think
Oh, but if Sanj helped, he'd have to suffer in the consequences, so he would get taxed as well.
he would get
He'd get
taxed.
taxed.
His resources would go down, but I don't think the fund would go down more.
I don't think so.
But the fund
Oh,
goes
but
down
the
more
fund
first.
said that the fund covers tax, right? Wouldn't
It covers
cover
the tax
for
first.
both
Yep, it
people?
does. Yep. I guess I see your point.
But that's
Yeah.
on me. That's my consequence, right?
No, but it'd be if he helped you, you share in the consequence.
Yeah.
We'll
if I
we'll
help,
see
I
what the
share.
system does. Because the
Okay.
system's going to do it automatically, I think. So anyway,
Okay.
why don't you go ahead and click help for your resources?
Okay, so
I'm helping. Yeah.
Okay.
okay, so
I
I
don't
click.
see the help.
Jesus.
It's obstacle 1. I've changed it. Go ahead and do help and roll.
Okay, Sanj, let us know when you've helped.
Yeah. I'm just doing it now.
Okay, so bonus dice.
Wait, hang on. Wait till Sanj has got the help yet.
Okay.
There. Now Venus helping. Now you could roll.
All right. So resources test dice exponent.
Now you're gonna get.
Oh,
Make
I'm
sure you
I'm
add in
accepting
the
help.
4 cash fund.
4, and that's bonus dice.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I need to add Artha.
I don't
Okay.
think you do.
You got a lot of dice. I think you should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you fail this, the gods are truly against you.
Right. Just ridiculousness. Resources is ready to advance. Go ahead. Yes.
Yay. So now you have 2
You
people
made
with
a
resources of
routine.
1.
How close were you to advancing your resources?
When you have resources 0, you just need a single success and you advance to
nice.
resources 1.
So you've got resources 1. Look at that.
I'm learning
Guys,
about
this is
Feel
managing my
more
money.
wealthy. You can
this
shop at
fund is
Walmart
gonna
now.
help us get powerful and rich in this city,
Yeah.
man.
This fund is really crucial. Okay, so here I go. If you guys could, I've got obstacle 2. If you guys can help, I think it'll really help us get this thing done.
By
Okay.
the way, when you help, now you can only get 1 test per session on a skill. So if you've already gotten, like Nico, you're not going to benefit from the second resources test,
I see. It's interesting.
right?
For resources or in general?
Well, in
No,
general,
I don't.
if you
Is
if
that?
you,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think it
that's
works that way.
true.
yeah, you
That-
can't advance you can't get
He can't
multiple
advance it
tests on the
twice, but
skill per
he can
session.
get a. I
I
think
can,
he
like,
can
log
get
it.
you can
another
log the
test.
test if you did it and then you helped on the next one. You can
Yeah.
record both. Like it did for me. It recorded 1 routine and 1 difficult. The
Oh,
routine
nice.
was the first roll, and it logged my difficult on the second roll.
You know what? We'll say okay for now, but let's ask this on the forum. I don't
Sounds
think
good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got obstacle 2. Have you guys said that you're helping?
Yeah.
I am going to help. And then I click my resources.
Just a little.
Okay, and now I got to look for resources. All right, here I go. So I'm clicking roll the dice, and I'm saying that we have 4 funds dice, and I've got help from you guys, and that's going to give me a total of 6 dice against 2. I think we're safe, but do you want me to spend a persona just to make sure?
No.
What do you got? You got 6 on 2?
Yeah, I
That's
think we're
good.
good.
That's probably
All right.
okay.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Thank
All
God.
right.
Guys, I got 1 routine, 1 difficult, 1 challenging that whole round.
Sick. I just got a challenging for that.
I can picture us like in Lankhmar in the first couple of weeks coming back from our adventure, and we're settling in, and we're kind of living a little large.
This is like the season 2 episode 1 where like it kind of shows us doing our individual stuff and then our kind of like group stuff together, the catch up,
Yeah.
Catch up
Well,
on
Well,
time.
the final epilogue of the adventure is going to happen next week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I'm going to do early next session is try to acquire a new shield. So I'm going to have to figure out what the resources cost of a shield is. I have no idea what it is.
There is it says, okay, a arms is wow, ob 3. Wow.
For a shield.
Okay, plated mail is ob 5. Spices is ob 3. A mule is ob 2. A horse is ob 3. So a shield could be ob 3. I don't know. That sounds a little high. Huh. We'll have to look it up.
Oh, I see. Here it is. Armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think ob 3 sounds appropriate.
Okay. And that's run of the mill, not poor quality, but run of the mill standard quality. Sounds good.
Oh, wait. Page 366, 367. Poor quality arms is ob 2. Yeah, run of the mill is ob 3. Cool.
All right.
Psych.
All right, guys, I think we should do Artha.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone's advancing their resources.
Yeah.
Or did
I
that
don't
happen
know.
to me?
It didn't factor the advancement. I clicked all 3 skill test difficulties, but it didn't go up to ob B2. I guess next time.
There's usually a checkbox that you have to do. You can manually just raise it.
So you have a check in each of those three things. Yeah, you should just manually raise it to 2.
You
Okay.
raise it to 2 and clear out all the bubbles.
And in fact, actually, you probably should have been 2 after Eric's thing, because you would have been routine and difficult, and that would have been enough to raise it to 2. And then you would have had 2 when you were helping me.
Yeah.
But
And then clear all the bubbles.
How do you do
You
that?
click to the
Oh,
left
yeah, I
of
see
the
the little
bubble,
X.
that'll
Yeah.
clear it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
great. My
All right,
my
guys, I
path
think we should
to
do
greatness.
Martha.
okay. I'm not sure that we did. I think we might want to skip the Arthur thing, since this was super
may,
short.
I think.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
we just did a
play-
couple of tests.
Today was unusual.
Yeah, it was a maintenance thing.
I can play a lot longer next weekend.
Oh, okay.
If you
Sounds
guys
good.
want to do 4 or 5 hours,
Oh.
I can.
So the awkward thing about next week is that's my PAX East weekend. So I'm gonna be busy both Saturday and Sunday. But
oh, guys, and I won't be here the weekend of the 28th, 29th.
so that's the
Okay.
next 2
30th
weekends.
and 30th.
all right, well,
and,
let's try to do it sometime during the evening this week or early next week.
Yeah.
sure.
Are you guys free Tuesday?
Yes.
I'm free on Tuesday, sure.
I think
Why don't we
so. It
do a
should be.
long session on Tuesday?
So Tuesday evening, starting around 6:30, is that the plan, or later?
Yeah.
I have
6:30
to
to
get.
10:30.
Yeah, I could try. I gotta confer with the wifey.
Yeah, I may need to leave a little before that, because we'll probably eat around 9:30 or 10, but we can make this. We'll work on it. Let's talk. So
Perfect.
I'm penciling it in for 6:30 to 9:30. That's 3 hours. That's not bad. And we'll talk and we'll adjust. I might be able to go as late as 10. We'll see how things are.
And that's the
Guys, I'm
20th, right?
super psyched about my trade.
I think it's the 19th of March is Tuesday, right?
Oh, I'm looking at February. Okay, March. Tuesday. Yeah, I think that'll work for me.
Okay, great.
That's great.
Good. Can't
It
wait.
was fun, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
really
love
good to see you
I
guys.
love my traits.
Yeah, I really like the direction that I'm gonna start going with these traits, kind of as a channel.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
It's been a
All
great
right.
campaign, man.
Yeah, it has been. Got some
Bye.
crucial stuff done. All right, I'll see you